Hey everyone, welcome to the March 23 Curator Call. Great to be back with everyone. It's been a really fun week. Um, we've been going through lots of bounty submissions. Really excited to see strong quality contributions coming from lots of different folks. The editors have been hard at work at reviewing all of the submissions and allocating points. So if you have submitted a larger bounty, there's a good chance that at this point you've been allocated some points, but definitely they have not gotten through the entire list yet. There are still plenty of submissions that are awaiting review. So thank you for your patience as the editors are working really hard, making sure that they do reviews of all of the submissions, and I think we're probably a few days away from being fully caught up there. Um, for the first round of submissions. So really great work, everyone. I know they've been having a blast seeing all of the quality submissions coming through. And hopefully people are starting to get a good feel for how to publish knowledge, either programmatically or using GeoGenesis. Um, there are a bunch of improvements and things that we've been making. I'll start by kind of walking through some of the work in progress that the team has been doing. Um, and then we'll look at content that people have published and kind of look at the current state of things on Geo and then look at what some nice focus areas might be. One thing that I want to show real quick, I'm going to try to pull it up here, is our weekly product updates that we've been doing. Um, Hopefully they're helpful to give people a sense of the work that's been happening. Our product team has been very busy. And so now at the end of the week, Preston has been publishing these weekly updates in the product updates channel, where you can see what we've got in for the week and what people are working on. So hopefully this is helpful to get some visibility. So hopefully at this point, things like CSV import are working well. I know many curators have been able to already publish content using that. Um, One feature that I want to highlight is a new Power Tools feature. So if we jump to something like this, say we want to look at our vaccines and we open in full screen, I think the Power Tools have been coming along pretty well. I think people are using it to great effect already. Um, but one of the things that we have now is bulk actions. So this is really great. You can already reorder columns around, which is pretty great. Right now, this just kind of works locally. This doesn't get persisted yet, but already it's helpful for your workflows. You want to jump into Power Tools. You want to make some big changes. Um, let's say we want to, add a type to a bunch of different entities. We could select all with this checkbox at the top, or you can individually select. And and then you can edit bulk edit. So here you can add or remove values to a bunch at once. So let's say I'm gonna pick the topic type that I want to add to these four entities, and I hit apply. Boom, and it just added these four topics uh, to those entities. This should help you make changes to things a lot faster. Here we can see there's a lot of interesting vaccine data. So if you want to make changes in bulk, highly recommend that feature. And yeah, let us know how the power tools are working out for you. Um, it should help you move a lot faster. Um, Cool. For today, we do have both Adam and Preston are out for this week, or at least Preston for the next few days. So wanted to take this week to just dive much deeper into the content and the current state of things and see how things are looking. Also want to make time for some demos. So curators can show some of the stuff that they're working on. And yeah, let's just see how things are going. Um, Actually, before we jump into that, just wanted to also touch on a few more areas on the product side. So, I know a bunch of you have been joining the community calls. Thank you for that. The community calls are a really important way to coordinate as spaces. I know there have been a few product related issues there, and the team has been hard at work improving all of those issues. So I know there's things around, for example, the screen share resolution has not been super high. I know some people have been getting kicked out of the calls, and we've had some issues like that. So these are the growing pains. Something like, video conferencing systems can sometimes be a little bit complex. Thank you for, beta testing, battle testing, all of that. We appreciate the patience. Um, Please do not let it deter you. Yeah, the team is hard at work on that, and I think we'll already see some really big improvements to those areas already this week. So every week it's getting better, and having you guys test that is super helpful. And also, I think we'll be at a point where those calls can be really smooth soon. So I think we're just about there. And yeah, thank you. Keep showing up for those. Um, Cool. All right. So Arturis, would you like to maybe give us an update on how things are looking from your side?
Sure. So let me do a quick screen share. And so here are a few highlights for the each space. So in the crypto space, we have chain and network profiles right here. Few examples, we have Discord, Docs, is it EVM compatible, a bunch of helpful links, layer type, LinkedIn, some information about them, and time and founded. This is quite a bit of information captured about each, I would say. So looking good. Also, always appreciate imagery. Maybe a quick note. When looking at the cover images, we should take a look at the resolution, the quality. We want that to be looking crisp. This one right here maybe is an example where we could take a look at for maybe a bit of a better image quality, but overall, I would say the content is looking good here. So then we have...
One thing to note as you're going through is we pushed an update last week. We realized that when there were a lot of data blocks on a page, sometimes they would slow down. That's been fixed. So you should see much faster loading, even of pages that have a bunch of data blocks.
Okay, nice. And here I would like to, so this is a good highlight of showing a little bit more of how the data on Geo is going to be structured over time, which is ability to organize everything into groups and then have people who specifically care about those groups manage that content is really good and helps with meritocracy. So here, for example, as some work being done on the Bounty, add 10 major crypto identity and reputation projects, right? So not 50 projects overall, but specific kinds of projects. And here we have projects, specifically for the identity and reputation. And we have the team members, some websites, but this already creates an interesting set. So for example, curators who are interested specifically in identity and reputation, for example, on the blockchain, that's a great thing to take a look at. And, we can think, okay, so how can we further organize these projects even more, but in the context of them being for this specific thing. So maybe are there different ways that, or different products and services that identity reputation projects can provide? What are those? How can we compare them? And over time, we will have projects for all spaces organized in these sort of practical buckets. So I'd say this is a good example and good first step towards that. So that's the highlight for the crypto. Then let's take a look at the health space. So health space, we're having good calls, community calls on health space. Some curators are participating, presenting some good content there already. We're having some good conversations. So drug delivery devices is one, a bit technical. It's sort of therapeutic areas. It's how we mostly organize these devices. Then we have transmission routes, also technical. This, I would say, might have also broader use cases. You know, it's kind of, if we can take a look at these different ways how diseases can transmit, and will be good later to start organizing maybe what are the best ways to protect ourselves for each of these transmission routes. So some practical information for everyone to take a look at over time, but this is a great data set for now where already it's listed, it's organized. We see like the types of exposures, transmission pathways, etc. Supplements. So this one, I would say, personally, I'm quite interested, in this compared to even other content. This is something that everyone, as soon as we get this to a really good state, I think everyone will have a lot of value out of this. Supplements. So we had some good conversations and feedback on the community call. So we have some, a description, drug interactions with what kind of interactions can happen, mechanism of action. That's interesting. Recommended dosage. So side effects also relevant. Mineral, but also I'm very interested in this one, treats, right? So what does a supplement treat? And so looking up things like, okay, muscle cramps, as once we have the ranking, so basically, if you take a look at any specific things that you want treated, maybe someone here has like a muscle cramps after training, or some sleep issues. And if you'll be able to filter by that and then take a look at of supplements ranked that are like which supplements are best for that specific thing, can actually improve decision making. So I would say like it's an example of a very practical type of information that we can have. So we have also common biological side effects. That is a great data set later for us to use with other data. For interconnecting. Mental health screening instruments. That's also, it goes under the topic of mental health, which is an interesting topic. And having a bunch of data sets here that we'll be able to interconnect is going to be nice. Also going to be interesting to see like for what type of situations each instrument is better. How do they compare? Over time, once we have, more experts ranking here and we can start comparing and ranking things, I'd say at some point, it's not going to be just us capturing the information and knowledge, but actually moving the knowledge forward. The research can be done on Geo itself by comparing these metrics that we do and helping kind of actually map out those things and have sort of a good place where we can actually review and have an authoritative way to know which ones are better for which different use cases, for example. So this is looking interesting here. So this concludes the health and AI. So a bunch of data that's also practical is being added at this point. It's with a great potential. Developable tools and infrastructure we showed last week. Here's for this week. So major AI API providers. That's definitely an interesting data set. What models are available, pricing URL, all in one place, websites, We have some additional information added as well, but it's still being worked on. Like also, as always, appreciate the avatars and covers. We like when images and content looks nice. For some, we already have founders, funding grounds, even some classification. So I'd say this is an interesting way. And I think like what we're gonna do further on this is we'll be taking a look at what other information we can add that's sort of objective and can help make decisions for developers, for example, when choosing which API provider to use. AI models. So, very clear and very important data set, right? Here also, we'll definitely want to have like good comparisons to be able to make better decisions when selecting the models. This is huge. One of the biggest questions in AI industry for any builder is which model do I choose for what of my products, right? So context length window is one important thing. Framework, input token costs, that's crazy good for making decisions and comparing things. Licenses, model family, model type, it's mostly reasoning, fast reasoning. And this is also important because we should be able to compare, let's say output token cost and context windows for specific model type. For some people, for some products, maybe we need fast reasonings. For others, we need reasoning or advanced retrieval. And then we compare specifically in that category. Of course, the provider as well. How is training approach even? So this is like a serious research that we're seeing right here. And I wouldn't think that there's a lot of such in-depth, clear community-made comparisons elsewhere at this point. AI model families. So this is this is a category that we see here, right? Like we are categorizing these specific models by model family, so we can have sort of a broader categorization as well. Model type, models available. Those are the models I just showed in the other table, and some information with it as well. So that's kind of for classification, organization, and it shows how we interconnecting things, right? So this is these entities in this table are organized using the entities in this table, right? So that's a good example of how things in Geo work. Improve details information about talks and conferences. So we're really excited about this one. We're going to continue working on this over time more. So what talks happen in what important events by what important people is hugely important for any industry. This is specifically for AI, but this is for any industry. For health industry, there are conferences. For crypto industry, there are conferences. For anything, right? And being able to follow for every person that is interesting in the industry and to which events they went and what later what we can capture is what they said there is, I would say, very important and helps really to keep in track with the industry. It's a resource for anyone who is participating there. We have the duration, we have the event where the talk happened, the speaker who gave the talk. This is sort of an early, I would say, example of it, but we will be able to inside we'll be able to, we have the clarification pipelines, we'll be able to add claims of what exactly was said with citations. And that's going to be an interesting way to follow it. Also a timeline. So it's whenever we go to a page of any public figure, if you have a timeline of all events where that person was, and also a timeline of all talks that person gave over years, even, I'd say is like a really good and easy way to understand the person and how they're evolving and how their participation in the industry evolves and what are the contributions. So these are some of the highlights. I gave it sort of a bit of a higher level. We have also a couple of curators who have a little bit more to show from their end. Quick update as well. We are now focusing a bit more of our time to do some cleanup and better presentation of content on the spaces. Before that, we kind of just focus more on the curators, helping them publish the content and just showing that in the highlights. But we do want the public spaces to look really polished and nice as well. This is actually where the experience of Geo starts for most users, right? It's the place that we all should be able to navigate easily. So we are creating some tabs. So and some of them are similar for different spaces, right? So any space should have its news, projects, people of the space, events, jobs, some learning materials, media, and so on. So we have some basics. We will be working to improve that as well. For example, in people tab, we will want to maybe see people grouped. These are the CEOs, these are the thought leaders, these are the politicians, etc. But this is already a step towards that direction where we already have these tabs and you can sort of already see some of the content that we have and you know where to look for it, right? Because we provide this clear overview. And so we will continue to be making progress on that. And if curators, by the way, I'd say it's a good thing. If you are having trouble finding something from the front page of a space, that's a good thing to share, maybe on the discussion channel. And we'll work with the editors and with you to organize it better. So that's the update on the content.
Looking really good. Yeah, keep up the great work, guys. Awesome updates. Uh, Next, I want to maybe open the floor for any editors that maybe want to share um, feedback or thoughts on things that they're seeing. I think we will. I did not ask people ahead of time, so we'll see if anybody wants to raise their hand for this. But I think it'd be nice to give an opportunity to some editors that maybe want to give some updates, and then we'll pass it over to some curators, some members who maybe have some demos.
Dan, can you maybe present something about Elf?
Please.
I'm not sure if we are not prepared for this, so we will try to improvise something. Dan,
So it's always good to just wing it.
do you think you can take the stage, Dan?
Yeah, can we? Liz, is it asking you to share?
No, you should be able to share. Armando, are you having an issue?
No, like I'm trying to pass the microphone to Dan,
Oh, to Dan. Okay,
Oh,
great.
who is the leader of the Elf space.
Sweet. Sounds good.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
yep.
Yep.
Just trying to pull up one of Ezra's submissions.
Have you tried to share?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going.
Sorry, yeah, I just set up a new MacBook and yeah, I don't know if I'm even going to be able to right now. So,
Okay. That's all right. We can move on. You can give it a shot and we can come back to you if
right.
you're able to get that going.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Oh, good. Are there any editors that would want to just maybe just provide some kind of feedback based on what they're seeing?
I can just maybe inform curators that we were able to publish some new bounty during the weekend. So there are bounty to structural topics in the EI and in the crypto space. We have bounty to design the cover for this topic in the same space. We are also asking to complete 10 people, 10 relevant people. We will provide the list both of topics and people. The idea with completing these people is preparing the people up. Like we want to gather the tweets, the publication, the contribution, and all the relevant information of the most relevant people in both space. So the bounty are available. You just need to check them. We have something. You will find the description of the bounty in the Curator app and the full detailed body of the bounty in Geo because we cannot have them together. But the information is all available. And if you are interested in something, please contact your mentor. We will assign you the bounty and we help you to complete it.
Sweet. Great update. Yeah, thanks for keeping those bounties flowing. Um, And yeah, has anyone been able to test out the People app? Were you able to check it out on your side? And glad you guys were able to make some bounties for that. So everything looks pretty clear. Anything from your side on the ontology and what
I,
we have there?
I was able to explore the ontology, so I think I've got it clear. I hope I didn't mess up the bounty, but I am asking, like, yes, mainly for we want the relevant tweets, like we can imagine a person like Vitalik. We want like we know we have some very relevant intervention on X, which are having a lot of reply, a lot of movement. So this is a kind what the bounty specifically ask is not to add all the data, but like to create the data and bring the most relevant one to the entity. So hopefully we will have some material to feed the app.
Yeah. Okay, sounds great. Cool. All right. Next, I'd love to open the floor for any curators that want to do any demos. Um,
So for this, I think we have Dini who is ready to make a demo. Maybe Thomas will be able to do some short presentation. And also, I think I am forgetting somebody. I'm sorry for it. If you have somebody else, like please, you are all welcome to have a demo right now.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
yes, we can.
Yep.
Hey, Dee.
Oh, good evening. Yeah, hello, Armando. So I want to quickly demo the okay, let me quickly share my screen. I forgot about it. So okay, so please can you see my screen now? Yes, I guess.
All right. Yep, we can see it.
Okay. Yeah, so I worked on side effects, biological side effects. So I was asked to just quickly demo it on the call. I also have another stuff I want to demo. So these are the side effects of vomiting, for example. It's a side effect, that's the type. We have the description here. The alias is like the another name for it, another name for vomiting, which is MSS. Associated drug classes. These are like things that cause vomiting, probably chemotherapy, treatment, or digoxin or opioids. The body system is associated with this is the gastrointestinal system, that's the stomach and the intestinal system. Specific drugs that cause side effects, which is vomiting. These are okay. Come on. So let me quickly demo the app I was working on. I was working on an app. I already showed it to Captain Mo and Bertrand Amando. Yeah, so I was working on this app. So this app is like is a healthcare research intelligence. It can be used to query um diseases, drugs, hormones, organs, pathogens. It's still in the early stages. I was hoping that I asked Amando if I could team up with a technical curator, so probably he could help to integrate it into Geo, such that if I'm on Geo, I could click on the link to the app and it would probably take me to the app, and then I can. But let me just please show what the app does. For example, this is disease COVID-19. So when I click on it, it will show me the COVID-19, the ICD-11 code, and a brief description with some classifications there, if it is communicable or not, acute. And I also built a knowledge graph surrounding it that shows important properties of the disease. Also, this is the etiology synonyms. These are some important properties I have, because some of these properties are not like entities that can easily be clickable, but there are some that can be clickable. Like so there's some drugs. Okay, I don't have all the drugs yet on it. Let me quickly check hypertension as a still in the early stages. So hypertension, there's some drugs here that are clickable exactly. So when I click on this drug, lisinopril, it takes me to the lisinopril page also. So I built the app with the aim of querying it to import data about diseases, drugs, and a lot of other properties, a lot of other entities that I'm not done with it. So these are the sources I employed using this stuff. So so that's where the app gets its information from. I also have this stuff here that I can ask it to generate 100 drugs related properties and click on generate here. So it's able to generate a CSV that can be downloadable. So let me quickly generate my disease CSV so I can download the CSV and it would download it. So this is okay. Yeah, so these are some diseases and their properties. So like this, I can now take them to I can clean the data and then try to import it on Geo. So, but then I'm not done with I'm using the free mode of Lovable, so I'm not done with the stuff yet. But I'm still working on it with Captain Mo and Amando. Also, I'm working on an expert bounty that was allocated to me by Adam. He's not on the call right now, but I don't I think he hasn't been online since probably the weekend. So I sent him this stuff. So this is uh, the ontology for the he asked me to work on the ontology of the disease and the diseases that okay the title of the bounty is most diseases do not have a cure. So like I'm working on diseases that are incurable but they can be managed with medications to to reduce symptoms and whatever. So I'm working on the ontology, disease properties. I have these properties there, the ICD code, the category and type, the symptoms, and the rest, trigger factors. Also, I'll map it to the drugs that help to manage it, since they can't be cured, but then at least they can be managed to reduce the symptoms and slow the progression of the diseases. So and I used important sources like this FDA and the rest. So thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity to demo my stuff. Yeah, I think that's all.
Great work. Yeah, that's really exciting. It's looking really good. The app's looking beautiful. And that content is really cool. So yeah, I would want to use this myself. Um,
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
yeah, so well done. Yeah, would love to dive in deeper with you and kind of understand where you're at with the project and what we can do to help enable. But I would say, yeah, please continue running with this. Excited to see it continue to develop. It's looking really good.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. All right. Who wants to go next?
I can talk a little bit.
Hey,
Please.
Tom.
So I've been working with open code, which is like Claude code, but open source. So you can connect various AIs to it. And my mission was to start with the tech demo that Preston put together. So the beginning of the Curator program, Preston put together a demo on the Geo GitHub. So I started with that, and I've got a lot of the original TypeScript files that he created for the demo, and then I've added a lot more since then. So the idea is basically that I would like to be able to orchestrate the whole workflow. So doing the research to collect the entities in some sort of format like CSV or JSON or whatever, and then use Bun to sort of orchestrate the various processes. So I have processes where I can explore the existing ontology of the live knowledge graph on Geo and then compare that to my working ontology for my data set, because often it takes a while to get your data set ready. And by the time you're done, things might have been renamed or new entities exist that didn't exist before. So I needed a way to constantly check what the actual state of the knowledge graph is on Geo and then update my data. So having an AI agent like Claude Code or Open Code really helps with that, because you can show it all of these commands and then how to use them, and then it can automate the process of querying the live geo knowledge graph and then looking at your data set and then sort of so periodically I do these and then realize that I need to change things or update values, or also my editor Bertrand will let me know that certain things are missing from my data set, and then it's just really quick and easy to locate where in my file system all the things that need to be fixed are, and then just do those edits really efficiently. Um, so sort of to your point or at the very beginning of this call, Yaniv, that you need to go deep yourself, and then you can use agents to sort of unlock, like taking the time to really dig into Preston's code and the SDK and working with developers to help get it all worked out. And then once everything is clean and working, then having an AI sort of orchestrate and run everything has been pretty powerful. So I have some bug and we're looking into it, but for some reason I can't actually publish using the SDK to the AI space. I'm not sure why. I posted a bug comment in the space. I go down to, so I think someone's looking into it. But basically, whenever I try to publish to the AI space, it doesn't ever actually send the transaction because something's going on with the gas. Not sure exactly what's going on, but I created a test space. So it's a DAO space, but it's a DAO space that just has me in it. So I've just been playing with that. So you can see I've been messing a lot with things, fixing things. But the final iteration looks like this. So I've got a lot of AI courses. I've been focusing on courses which have to do with the, I guess, two things that I was the most interested in. I think that there are people who are really in the open source community want to make sure that there is an end-to-end capability to design and train your own open models, then how to deploy them at scale and use them for various purposes, so that we're not just locked into SaaS products and sending all of our data to these kind of siloed systems. And as someone who's been interested in crypto and other decentralization efforts, I wanted to make sure that the first courses I published on Geo about AI were focused on that kind of an idea. So I guess I took the liberty as a curator to sort of push people in the direction of how you would actually learn how to go end to end and focus on open models. And then obviously there's some popular topics like OpenClaw and other kind of agentic things that are kind of hot topics. So I sort of tried to bridge the gap between those two things. And one of the reasons I'm using open code in particular is for that same reason. I could have used Claude Code as well, but I specifically wanted to use an open one instead. So one issue I'm having is I can't figure out how to get the lesson numbers to start out in order. But you can just click here and then they go in order. But basically the idea is to have a description that follows the guidelines, goals, lessons, providers, roles, all of these being connected entities. And obviously there's some issues. I need to make sure that these descriptions are ending up properly allocated. So one of the reasons why I'm still in the test space instead of in the AI space. But that's what I've been working on, is sort of, I'm kind of pulling double duty, working on this data set and making sure that the values in the data set are accurate, but then also figuring out how to utilize agents to make this process a lot more efficient. That's
Cool.
what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's looking really great. This might be one of our first kind of full courses that's being organized on Geo here by curators. So yeah, really cool to see. One note you just mentioned there on the sorting is we should have an update very soon here for persisting the sort. That's why you have to
Okay.
do it each time, but
Gotcha.
that's something that will be getting saved. You'll see it as an edit that you can publish the sort.
Okay.
Yeah, it's looking nice. So you have courses with lessons. The lessons are numbered. Yeah, we can use lesson numbers. We can also use kind of positions to order things. Um, and yeah, how are you thinking we should have the actual course content? Is your thinking right now? I guess it's linking out to third party sites, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
Do you think that like educational material like this is better done as like tutorials or like videos? What kind of format would you think?
So I spent about 10 years as a teacher. And my experience I taught through COVID. So went from being a classroom teacher, then had to teach online for an extended period of time, and then went back to the classroom. And I think the main difficulty I had was engagement with online content in general is pretty low. So one thing to think about would just be to not worry about that at all and just assume that the people who are using online content are capable of generating their own engagement. And in that case, I think there's a lot of choice, right? You could point to third-party platforms like boot.dev or Coursera or whatever, or any of these kind of third-party hosts. Or you could generate learning content. I know we have some already in Geo in the root space. There's quite a bit of, I think it's here, right? Yeah, all these courses that are related to how to utilize Geo. I think, for someone who is a responsible learner and like this is just really good information. And I think it makes sense to embed it in Geo, especially obviously this is about Geo, so it should be here. But I think the hope would be over time that Geo becomes a place where people come to produce their coursework, right? I think right now I'm linking to existing courses because that's what there is. But I could also see myself as a teacher producing learning content that's new, novel learning content, and actually just making it native to Geo. And I think that at some point, I will explore that. I think for this early project, just starting with existing information, so that I could work on the ontology with Armando and work out how to use the SDK, how to get things appearing properly, linking things, making sure that everything is working properly. It was easier for me to just sort of find a whole bunch of courses that already exist. But maybe I'll write my own open code agent course that pulls together all the things I've been learning about how to use all of these tools to do the work that I've been doing. And that I would just make a Geo native course and I wouldn't make a course on Coursera and then link to it. I would make it on Geo. And
Yeah,
yeah.
that would be super cool. And I think we're definitely seeing, AI educational content really going viral on social media these days, especially on X. I think there's a lot of demand for that sort of thing. So yeah, would definitely support you or, anyone else who's working in the AI space to create educational content, around the latest tools. If something just drops, you want to play around with it, maybe record a video and you can post it on Geo. You can extract any learnings from things. Like I mean, there's new tools just launching all the time, and nobody has time to go through all of them, right? For example, Kaparthi recently released his auto research tool, and I think like there was just so many cool things people were able to do with that. And anything where it's like you take some time to explore something and you publish a little educational video or just kind of some learnings from your explorations. I think that's very much in high demand. So cool, great that you've had a chance to explore and start organizing some lessons into a course. It's looking like a great start.
Oh, by
Thanks.
the way, it
Mhm.
might be an opportunity to mention that we do have in our list, we haven't yet prioritized it, an education space. Maybe there we could actually capture some of the theory of education that would be useful for any space, right? And so if we have a curator who has an experience as a teacher, and what kind of ways are there to educate people, right? Especially online, like what are different ways? Like is it like visual or quiz based, etc. And then based on that, we can maybe have a better informed decisions on how we setting up the ontology and some principles for education for each space. Something to think about. Maybe we can hop on a bit afterwards and to think through that.
Yeah, totally. So we do have some exciting new product features that are going to be coming out in the next week or two. I think I'll probably just like announce them as they're ready to use. But some things to look forward to there. Um, for the next week and kind of beyond, we definitely want to continue with, the show don't tell thing. So some people had posted some really cool demo videos on X that we were able to reshare. Big shout out to Maxime for the one that he shared out, I think last week. So that was really cool to see on the AI research papers. For anybody that wants to do the same, feel free to just, record some videos and post it, get in touch with us. We're happy to help you with your posts, but I think it's really cool for people outside to be able to see some cool visualizations and, really start to, see the power of knowledge graphs. We have that list of example projects that Adam has sent out. Hopefully, you've all seen that. That's a great list to pull from if you're looking for ideas. We have been a little bit slower to roll out the World Affairs space, so I apologize for that. Been juggling a bunch of things. And we're going to kind of just solidify that ontology for news before we get that out. So that's taking a little bit longer, but we should have a great update on Geo News soon. And then that's something that we're definitely going to want to start meeting regularly for World Affairs to be organizing the different topics and timelines and things that are happening in the world. Of course, the Iran conflict being kind of the major thing that is happening out there, but there are other things too. So just stay tuned and very much looking forward to collabing with people there on World Affairs, on people, or on any of these areas for the show don't tell, where we can show some really great demos to get people fired up. All right. Are there any other questions or topics of conversations before we break for the week?
There are two more curators that maybe can have a very quick demo if we have time enough. I'm not sure if they
We
want.
could we could do one. I also want to make sure that we give people enough time to do their demos. I think maybe some of the last previous weeks we had to rush them right at the end. So it's up to if somebody feels like 5 minutes is enough, we could do it, or we could save it and do it next week. Either way.
We can save it for next week maybe. Like Kevin is working on some very interesting thing on Elf, and I really would like also, if some time is possible, to speak with Pierrick, which is also
Cool.
working on their space on the standardization of price for hospital, which is a very interesting bunch.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's super exciting. I don't know, you guys want to save it for next week, or do you want to go?
I'm not ready to go this week.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay,
save it
cool.
for
Yeah,
next week
let's
myself, but thanks.
sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, let's save it. Excited to see the updates. Awesome. All right. I think we're at a good spot for the week then. So, you should be, if you haven't gotten your points yet for your initial submissions, you should definitely be seeing those over the next few days. Um, Editors have been doing a really great job of reviewing all those submissions. Hopefully, you're seeing new bounties come through that you're interested in. If there's a project that you want to work on and you don't see a bounty live for it, reach out to your mentor and editor. The idea is, we can be creating bounties as we go. So, it's not meant to be just a, static list of bounties. We can be creating these. So we just want to be getting good ideas. We'll try to get them all tracked. So you can be working on exciting projects and we can get all of that, captured and accounted for. As Arturis mentioned, we are going to be doing a little push now to organize the content so that browsing can be a good experience. And that's something that hopefully you can just think about as you're going. If you're clicking around and you see something that looks kind of incomplete, maybe it doesn't have good imagery, it's not showing well. Let's fix things as we go. It's easy to just make a few edits and publish it to keep things looking good. We want to be at a place soon where we can share this externally and people can click around and get a sense of something that feels fairly polished. So I think we're starting to get there. I like how the AI space is looking already. I think the crypto space is looking pretty good. This is the kind of thing we want to see. Um, Obviously, still some more work we can do on the health space for how we organize things, and that becomes an interesting question of like, what would you want to have on the home page for a space, right? And these are the sorts of things that you can be discussing in the breakout community calls, right? So maybe, when we have the health call this week, right, you guys could be discussing, what should be on the front page of health? What's the most relevant thing that will give people an overview? Um, so that's an interesting kind of curatorial editorial decision. Could be a good conversation, but hopefully we get the stuff polished up. We keep getting some exciting demos pushed out there. We'll start picking up on the news and world affairs and people, and really exciting things happening across the board. So thanks everybody. Have a really great productive week. Wish you all happy hacking, and yeah, have a great week. Thanks everyone.